Welcome to another podcast with Dean, the head greenkeeper, and Ryan, the head pro at West Hove Golf Club. And we're going to discuss the greens at West Hove in this topic. And the first question I'm going to run past Dean is, back in November, Dean, I noticed some scarring on the greens, etc. And I think that's something you wanted to talk about a little bit.
Yeah, I think we come off our autumn maintenance really well. Was in a good position, and then everywhere, especially down in the southeast, got hit with disease with a fusarium patch, which hit really hard. So in October, November time, we got really hit hard with disease. We tried to combat it with everything we had. We put fungicides down almost weekly, it felt like, to try and suppress the disease, but just nothing was quite hitting it, and it just got worse and worse and worse. I think this is down to a lot of the thatch issues we've mentioned before in other episodes.
So the thatch that we already have in the green, just in case.
Yes, yeah. So what's happening is there's thatch in the greens. I think whenever we have moisture, it's not drawing through as well as we'd like. So it's sitting there in the profile, which is then really susceptible to disease. So that's what happened in November, and that's why we're seeing the disease scarring that we've seen over the...
Okay. Recently, we've done our first greens maintenance of the year.
Yeah.
What were your main focus points, and how has that been delivered? How's it gone?
So we did a trial run the week before to see what we could get away with, and it became apparent because of the thatch layer that the greens just want to rip all the time every time we put in certain holes in. And so we wanted to do big 30 drain tines going down deep, and we wanted to do a pro core hollow core to remove the thatch and remove the organic matter. And we couldn't do both or any. So what we ended altering it to was a real shallow hollow core, which went down to about 1.5 to 2 inches. And that's what we could get away with without it ripping. But it was good in a way because we still got that target zone, that top layer of the profile. We did the work there. So we did progress it. We got about 35 tons of sand down, even just with that small holes that we removed. So yeah, pretty happy with how the maintenance week went. Boys worked really hard. We did long days for most of the week. So yeah, it went well in terms of the maintenance. The products we used and the procedures we carried out were top notch. Pretty happy with it.
And now, to get the benefit of the maintenance, what do we need from Mother Nature? What do we need from other areas?
Yeah, I think that's been the hard thing, is that we've not had any rain. It's been really hot and no rain, and the evening temperatures have still been down for the most part. So there's been literally no growth at all. So I think the disease scarring coupled with, maintenance holes out in the course. But I think if we get some more rain, I've seen it lately with a bit of rain we've had, they're slowly but surely starting to improve. The seeds starting to germinate in lots of areas. So I think we're getting into a better place. And what we'll do going forward is we'll make sure we'll get plenty of top dressing out. We'll try and do it like once a week, once every 2-3 weeks, whatever we can get away with. That'll help smooth surfaces out. We're also banging lots of seed in as well. So yeah, hopefully the disease scarring and the holes that we got out there will slowly start to grow over.
Yeah. So going forward, we're still top dressing.
Yes. Yeah. Every time we top dress, we try and go light and frequent so we can cut and do all our other practices whilst we're doing it. If we put down too much sand in one hit, it's almost like it just takes so long to get through the profile, and it just sticks to the rollers, causes a mess. So what we're doing at the moment, we're trying to get about 1 3/4, 2 tons of sand down throughout the whole course, and we're seeing that disappear throughout the week really. So after 3-4 days, we could probably go out cutting again afterwards. And we'll try and do that each week, try and do that as much as we can and smooth out surfaces. I've had golfers come up to me after we've done top dress and we've rolled it in, say how much better they are. It's naturally going to help out. All that sand will go into the indents we got on the green, and it'll help smooth out the roll. That's the procedure we'll do going forward.
Brilliant thing. You guys are on it. You're working extremely hard. I'm sure all the members, they're always going to have questions. They're always going to have opinions. But I think it's clear for everyone to see how hard you're all working, how diligent you've been, the data you're using. And one thing I want to say is every golf club's different. Every surface is different. So some of the comments I get are, yeah, but such and such greens are better. Yeah, but their greens might have been down for 100 years. all sorts of factors
Yeah.
and different surfaces. So there are reasons why we do things the way we do.
Mm-hmm.
So going forward, are you confident with the summer coming up?
I think so. I think that's a really good point you brought up there, is that I think it's important to play other golf courses. And if there's, like you say, if they've got problems, or historically they do well, then that's got to be taken into account. I think we've been hit with disease quite a lot throughout the years, and the year just gone past, disease pressure was so high in November. I think going into this season, I think we haven't had disease now in 2.5 months. It's been 2.5 months, which is the longest period since I've been here. We haven't had any disease. So I think we're pushing it in the right direction. I don't think the winter was particularly kind to us with how wet it was. I think we forget, with how dry it's been lately, of how wet it was in the winter. And I think that's probably knocked us back a little bit with organic matter. But with our maintenance, we just carried out with our regular top dressing, and the maintenance we got sort of planned for this autumn and going forward. I think year on year, we should see progression. Just got to hope that the weather and nature and everything else plays ball, because it does help out a lot.
Well, fingers crossed for everyone. And I'm sure everyone would like to say thanks very much, Dean. And we look forward to the next podcast.
Brilliant. Thanks, Roy. Thank you.